Most people think being poor is about income. They think, if I just made more money, everything would change. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some people double their income, and their financial situation doesn't improve at all. More money, same problems. Why? Because the real issue isn't income, it's habits. There are certain behaviors that quietly keep people broke for decades, even when they earn good money. And the scary part? Many of these habits look normal. Today, I'm breaking down the habits that keep people poor, and more importantly, how to escape them. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. If you're new here, this channel is about financial literacy, wealth psychology, and building real financial freedom. If that sounds like something you want more of, subscribe to the channel, because most people are trying to fix money problems with budgeting tips, when the real problem is behavior. Before we start, let me say something important. Being poor isn't a moral failure. Many people start life with less access, less opportunity, less financial education. But habits matter. Because the difference between people who stay stuck financially and those who eventually build wealth often comes down to behavior patterns repeated over years. So let's break down the biggest ones. Habit 1, lifestyle inflation. The first habit that keeps people poor is lifestyle inflation. This is when your expenses rise every time your income rises. You get a raise, you upgrade the car, you make more money, you move into a bigger apartment, you start earning six figures. Now you're flying first class and buying luxury brands. Your income grows, but your financial margin stays the same. Or worse, it disappears completely. Let's look at an example. Imagine two people. Both get a promotion. Both go from $60,000 to $90,000 per year. Person A upgrades the car, moves into a luxury apartment, increases spending. Person B keeps their lifestyle mostly the same, invests the extra money 10 years later. The difference between those two people could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, not because of income, because of behavior. Habit 2. Consumption versus ownership. One of the biggest habits that keeps people poor is prioritizing consumption over ownership. Poor habits look like this: buying things that depreciate instead of things that produce income. Examples: expensive cars, designer items, constant upgrades. But wealthy habits look different. They focus on assets. Assets produce income, appreciation, ownership. Examples: stocks, real estate, businesses, investments. Example: two people each have $10,000. Person A buys designer items, electronics, luxury purchases. 5 years later, that money is gone. Person B invests it. With compounding, that same $10,000 could become $30,000, $50,000, or more over time. One of the most powerful shifts in how wealthy people think about money is this: they focus on ownership, not just consumption. Most people spend their entire lives buying things that disappear: phones that get replaced every 2 years, cars that depreciate the moment you drive them off the lot, clothes that go out of style. But wealthy individuals think differently. They ask a simple question before they spend money: will this make me richer, or just look richer? Because there's a huge difference between looking wealthy and being wealthy. Many people focus on visible success: nice cars, luxury brands, expensive upgrades. But the real drivers of wealth are usually invisible assets: stocks, businesses, rental properties, investments that grow quietly in the background. Here's a practical example. Imagine two friends in their early 30s. Both receive a $15,000 bonus. Person A celebrates by buying a luxury watch, expensive clothes, a vacation. Person B does something less exciting. They invest the money. 10 years later, the watch is gone. The clothes are gone. But the investment may have grown into $30,000 or $40,000 depending on market returns. One person purchased memories and status. The other purchased future freedom. And when you repeat that decision dozens of times over a lifetime, the results become enormous. Habit 3, short-term thinking. Another habit that quietly keeps people poor is short-term thinking. Humans naturally prefer immediate rewards. Psychologists call this present bias. We value something today far more than something tomorrow. This is why people choose the $1,000 phone today instead of investing $1,000 for the future. People choose instant lifestyle upgrades instead of long-term financial growth. But wealth building requires the opposite mindset: It requires thinking in decades instead of days. Example. Let's say someone invests $300 per month starting at age 25. By retirement, that could grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if they delay investing until age 40, the outcome changes dramatically, because compounding needs one thing above all else: time. And every year you delay investing, you're not just losing money, you're losing time for compounding to work. Habit 4, not understanding money. Another major habit that keeps people poor is simply not understanding the basic mechanics of money, and this isn't really their fault, because most people are never taught how compounding works, how inflation works, how investing works, how taxes affect wealth. So they enter adulthood trying to manage money with very little financial education. And when you don't understand the rules of money, it's almost impossible to win the game. Example, inflation. Many people believe saving money alone is enough. But inflation slowly reduces the value of money over time. If inflation averages 3 to 4% per year, something that costs $100 today could cost $180 or more in the future. So if your money sits in an account earning almost nothing, your purchasing power slowly declines. This is why wealthy individuals don't just save money, they invest money, because investing helps your money grow faster than inflation. Example, taxes. Another thing many people misunderstand is taxes. The tax system treats income and investments very differently. Wages are often taxed at higher rates, but long-term investments may receive more favorable tax treatment. Understanding these rules helps people make smarter financial decisions. Habit 5, debt lifestyle. Another habit that quietly traps people financially is using debt as a permanent lifestyle tool. Debt can be useful in certain situations. For example, starting a business, purchasing a home, funding education that increases earning power. But many people use debt for something completely different. They use debt to fund everyday consumption. Credit cards become a way to buy things they cannot afford today, and slowly, those balances begin to grow. Car loans are another common example. People often stretch loans to 6 or 7 years just to afford a car they want. But by the time the loan ends, the car may already be worth far less than what they paid. Habit 6, social pressure. Another habit that keeps people financially stuck is spending based on social pressure. Humans are social creatures. We want to feel accepted. We want to feel successful. And sometimes that desire pushes people into spending decisions that don't actually improve their lives. For example, someone buys a luxury car because their coworkers have one. Someone upgrades their home because friends did. Someone spends thousands on vacations just to keep up with social media expectations. But here's the truth. Many people are quietly struggling financially while trying to maintain an image of success. Example. A person may appear wealthy on the outside, nice house, nice car, luxury vacations, but behind the scenes, they may have large credit card balances, no investments, little savings. This is what financial experts sometimes call the illusion of wealth. Looking wealthy is easy. Building wealth requires discipline. Habit 7. Income trap. Many people believe the solution to financial problems is simply earning more money. But income alone doesn't solve bad financial behavior. In fact, higher income can make bad habits more dangerous. Why? Because you now have more spending power. For example, someone earning $50,000 may struggle, but someone earning $150,000 with luxury car payments, expensive house, lifestyle inflation can still live paycheck to paycheck. Habit 8. Never investing. One of the most expensive habits people develop is simply never learning to invest. Many people believe investing is complicated, or risky, or only something wealthy people do. But historically, investing has been one of the most powerful tools for building wealth, because investing allows money to compound over time. Example. Let's compare two scenarios. Person A invests $400 per month starting at age 25. Person B waits until age 40 to start investing the same amount, even though both people invest the same monthly amount. Person A could end up with hundreds of thousands more simply because they started earlier. That's the power of compounding. The earlier you begin, the more powerful it becomes. Habit 9. Avoiding money conversations. Another subtle habit that keeps people poor is avoiding conversations about money entirely. Many families never discuss budgeting, investing, debt, financial goals. Money becomes a taboo topic, and when people don't talk about money, They don't learn from each other. They repeat the same mistakes generation after generation. But financially successful people often do the opposite. They talk openly about investing strategies, financial planning, wealth building. These conversations create financial awareness and accountability. Example: someone who regularly reviews their finances will notice spending patterns, debt levels, investment opportunities. But someone who avoids these conversations may not realize there is a problem until years later. You might be noticing something interesting about these habits. None of them require someone to be poor forever. They're simply behaviors, and behaviors can change. But the first step to changing them is recognizing them. Here's the most important thing to understand. Financial success is rarely about one big decision. It's about hundreds of small habits repeated for years. Small habits create financial stability, financial stress, or financial freedom. If you want to escape these habits, focus on 3 simple shifts. 1. Spend less than you earn. This creates margin. 2. Invest consistently. Let compounding work for you. 3. Build assets. Assets create freedom. Wealth doesn't usually appear overnight. It grows slowly, quietly, through behaviors most people ignore. The question isn't, how much money do I make? The real question is, what habits are shaping my financial future? Because your habits today are writing your financial story tomorrow. If you found this video valuable, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos about financial literacy, wealth building, money psychology, because understanding money isn't just about numbers, it's about mindset. And the right mindset changes everything. This is Keith's Money Mindset, where we build assets, break cycles, create freedom. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.